What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video for Friday, TGIF, July 28th. We are back after a very odd, weird, terrible, not enjoyable Thursday slate with technically 3 games on the main slate. We are back with a full slate. Well, technically, we have this first game here is not on the main slate. If you're playing the all-day slate on Fanduel, that's okay because it's literally 30 minutes before the first pitch of the other game, or 25 minutes. But we are back, and we're very excited. I know this is going to be our best video. I know you guys can do it. Let's shoot for 150 likes on this video. If this video gets 150 likes, you subscribe to this channel, and you leave a comment, one person is going to win a lifetime subscription to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. I know we can do it. We're getting up there. Let's shoot for this one. That being said, if you're trying to get to FTA Plus, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, hit the FTA Plus tab. If you use the promo code NFLVIP on the yearly pass, you're going to get $100 off. You're going to get it for $99 while supplies last. So, first things first, if you've never been here before, buckle up, you're in for a treat. Anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment and you're a subscriber, you get thrown into this random comment picker, and this is yesterday's video, and you have a chance to win a free week of MLB DFS content. If a video gets 100 likes, you have a chance for a free month. If a video gets 125 likes, you have the rest of the MLB season absolutely free, and if this video gets 150 likes, someone will win a lifetime pass. Now, I have some great news. The winner from the previous video has decided to pay it forward. So there's going to be 2 winners for a week content here. So we're going to roll twice. So get ready for the spin of destiny 2 times. This is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So good luck to the 2 winners. Let's see who the first one is. Pollock Hillbilly, not the first time they've won. This is what I'm telling you guys. If you check out the videos, if you like them, if you leave comments, you can win more than once. Pollock Hillbilly, going to be a rough one today, but thanks for the help. You're welcome. So we are going to pick another winner, I believe. This will be the second winner, and if it's Pollock Hillbilly yet again, they win 2 free weeks. That's what I'm telling you, and it's only once. It's only... you only need 1 comment. You don't need to leave multiple comments. If you want to, you can. It only picks up 1. So congratulations. And the next and final winner for the day is Goldie Topi. Goldie Topi. The question was, actually, I remember what it is. So, question, how do you get past most of the nights where the pitching is horrible? Night pitching was trash. How is there a way to see who the bullpen is? Is there a way to, I actually comment on this, is there a way to see or use bullpen pitchers? And on DraftKings, at least on DraftKings you can, you go to here and remove non-probables. I believe it's going to work. And then we can go here and, for instance, bullpen guy, Chapman. Aroldis Chapman. Okay. I mean, you're not starting him, obviously. You would use this for a, if you know there's going to be like an opener, and you know they're going to go 1 inning, then you have to look into the bullpen of the team and choose from there. So if you guys are interested, I've been thinking about putting up a page on the website, updating it probably weekly, of bullpens for each team, who the, in the order is of who they might use. If that's something you're interested in, like the video and tell me that's something you're interested in. So that being said, that is the way to do it on here. I don't believe you can on FanDuel, but I may be wrong. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that one. So congratulations, Goldie Topi and Pollock Hillbilly. I don't like saying that name out loud. I don't know if it's offensive, but what I'm going to say is, if you're already a winner, hit me up on this. Let me know you saw this, and then either hit me up on Twitter at advisors_team, or hit me up on our email, dfshelp1@gmail.com. So, like I said, we're not going to go through weather right now. That is on the website. If you want to see that later, that is completely fine. That is part of FTA Plus. I just don't have the weather in time for, and it changes between when we put these video out and then obviously X amount of hours in between. So we do put up some weather reports in the Discord channel. If you are already a member, you can go to FTA or FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Sign into your user, edit your profile, and you can connect your Discord name to get into our Discord channel. So that is that. It'll last you the length of your FTA Plus membership. So looking at the first game of the day, number 1, we've got Detroit Tigers at Miami Marlins. You got Reese Olson, who's never faced the Marlins before, versus Braxton Garrett. Now, they really haven't seen each other much. Garrett, 5 plate appearances, 0 batting average. So looking at this, we can't use them. If you're doing an all-day slate, okay, we'll dig into it a little bit. Looking at Reese Olson, on the road, he's much better. 318 batting average compared to his 540 batting average at home. Couple of, just not about 1 game's worth of innings less here. It gives up way less earned runs, 10 less earned runs, 10 less runs, less walks, does have less strikeouts, but less home runs as well. So looking at this, I don't mind him. Then, if we want to look at his game logs here, he's coming off of 5 innings, 5 earned runs against the Padres. They're obviously a really good team. Mariners, 5.1 innings, 2 earned runs. Toronto, only 2 innings there, so we're not going to go over that. Oakland, 5 innings, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts. So he's had success. Tournament-wise, I don't mind him. I don't mind Reese Olson tournament-wise. I don't know if I'll be playing on FanDuel the all-day slate, though, so that's kind of where the disconnect is. But I don't mind Reese Olson there. Then if we look at this, look at Braxton Garrett at home against this Tigers team that their OPS they're bad. They're a bad team. 2-2 record at home. He does have a 6.06 ERA at home, 57 strikeouts. So looking at his splits here, we've got his home is 6.06. His away ERA is 2.65. So he is better at home, or better on the road. Only 1 game starting difference. He's pitched more on the road, 2 innings more on the road. He's giving up less hits on the road, giving up 15, less than half the runs on the road as well. At home, he gives up a ton of home runs. So then that would take us to what Detroit bats might have success against him. Just depending on the bats that are out there, Torkelson could be an option. You could be looking at Kerry Carpenter, who seems to be in the box score every single time. Now, the Tigers are playing a doubleheader Thursday, meaning we don't know if that's going to affect any of the batters for this Tigers team. Really don't know how that's going to affect them. Kind of looking at this, Riley Green seems to have been on fire lately. I think he's batting over 300 right now. He would be an option. McKinstry would be an option too. So I'm probably off of the Braxton Garrett train. Reese Olson being better on the road, Garrett being worse at home. I'm not against looking at a Tigers little mini stack here, some of the bats that we talked about. So maybe a little bit of exposure to Reese Olson and none of Braxton Garrett, and then look at some of the Tigers bats. Then we've got the first game on the slate, the Phillies at the Pirates, Zach Wheeler versus Mitch Keller. Looking at this, let's dig in. This is why I love DraftKings, to show you all the information you guys need, getting a first look in the day. I know there are other websites out there that can afford to pay a lot of writers, that can afford to give you guys lineups and that's it, but they just go in here and like, yeah, let's start this guy, not this guy. They don't dig in like I do. At least I don't think so. So if you guys find this informative, hit the like button. A like goes a long ways. Comments get us in the algorithm. Watching the ads and clicking on the ads on these videos would help out tremendously. On top of checking out FTA Plus, or we have had people, we have had actually a decent amount of people donate like $5-10 either on Venmo, which I can give you, or our Cash App is down below. It's been pretty awesome, the love and support that we've gotten from you guys just in this baseball season. I look forward to helping you guys out with NFL as well. So looking at Zach Wheeler here, going up against Pittsburgh, that's a plus matchup for him right there, but we'll dig into his numbers and we'll look at it. So Game log coming off 2 pretty good, decent games. 7 innings against Cleveland, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. Against San Diego, went 7 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Double-digit, 20-plus fantasy points there, which is better than his average. Looking at his splits, he has not faced the Pirates this year. And on that front, away games, he's got a better ERA away, 3.72 compared to 4.03. He's averaging more fantasy points per game away as well. And he's facing a Pirates team that I absolutely love this year. So I love Zach Wheeler today. He is the 5th highest priced pitcher on the slate, but he's number 1 in our hearts. So I really do like Wheeler here. And then if we look at it, Mitch Keller, he's right down below, not too far down, $200 less. Looking at Mitch Keller, coming off a couple of bad games. Not very good against the Angels, 6 earned runs there. Against Cleveland, 8 earned runs there. That's minus points. Had a good game against Arizona. Not a good game against the Dodgers. A good game against San Diego. Looking at splits, hasn't faced Philly this year. Looking at his games, 3.61 ERA at home, it's true. Gives up less earned runs, less home runs, less walks, less strikeouts. That's the thing. He's not striking out as many at home, but he's not giving up as many runs either. But this Phillies team, when they're clicking, they're on. Wouldn't be surprised to look at Schwarber. I would even love to break down. I don't have time for this, but if we could break down the teams, because I know Schwarber's probably played in this ballpark 100 times, being with the Cubs as many years as he was in the same division. Wonder what his splits are here at this ballpark, but just looking at that. So I would definitely be looking at Phillies, Schwarber, Turner, Castellanos, maybe Harper a little bit, Stott. It really just depends on the lineup that comes out. So in this, I'm probably fading Mitch Keller, and I'm looking at Zach Wheeler a lot here. Next game, Yankees at the Orioles. You got Garrett Cole versus Grayson Rodriguez. Cole has seen the Orioles a ton, getting strikeouts. Got double-digit strikeouts the last game, we talked about. Looking at Garrett Cole, game log there, 26.7, 31, 20.9, couple of bad games in a row here, but still, he's $1,000 less than he was last start. That was against Kansas City. Went 6.1 innings, 10 strikeouts there. Looking at this with Baltimore, he's faced Baltimore 1 time this year, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, probably his worst start at 0.2. And I wanted to see when this was. Did I go over it? There. It was at home. The Yankees ended up winning this game, but he gave up 5 earned runs there. Home games, 290. Away games, he is better on the road. Giving up less earned runs. Has only given up 3 home runs. He is the most expensive, but the Yankees, maybe they're starting to click with their offense a little bit. Judge should be back as the making of this video. He has not been activated yet. The rumor is he will be activated, which it will make them a better team altogether, because there's another bat in that lineup that they have to pitch around. As long as Rizzo can come back, Bader's been on fire when he's in the games. Gleyber Torres has been on fire. Gleyber Torres, speaking of, looking at this, I'm all in on Garrett Cole. I know he's super expensive, but I'm all in on Garrett Cole here at $11,000. Against Baltimore, I know they're a good team, but he is a great pitcher. He's leading Cy Young candidate as of now, probably will change. But everything points to yes on Garrett Cole. Then we look at Grayson Rodriguez. Got called back up. It's the reason he's all the way down here. His game log. Had a good game against Tampa Bay. 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. But against the Dodgers, he came back, gave up 4 earned runs, 5.9 fantasy points. Before getting sent down, minus 1.9, 15.7 against Toronto, minus 9.7 against the Angels. Been very up and down. 2-2 record, 6.91 ERA, 66 strikeouts. Now, the Yankees do strike out, but looking at this, he hasn't faced the Yankees this year. His home games, he has an ERA of 9.11. He's given up 7 home runs, less strikeouts, more earned runs. On the road, 4.91. So he is better on the road. So honestly, I really like a Yankee stack here. I really like Garrett Cole here. Looking at this, Gleyber Torres just absolutely loves to hit home runs against Baltimore in this ballpark for whatever reason. He might be in my. He might be part of my if I do a betting and I do home runs, he might be in that parlay or on its own, just depending on what we do. I don't mind that. So looking at that, that's where my thought process is right now. I'm all in on Gleyber Torres. I'm all in on a Yankee stack. I'm looking at Judge if he's back, Gleyber Torres if he's back, Bader, IKF if he's in there. I don't know if he will be. Stanton if he plays the outfield. I absolutely love Stanton here. So I'm out on Grayson Rodriguez. I'm all in on Garrett Cole. Angels at the Blue Jays, you got Lucas Giolito versus Kevin Gausman. Now, Giolito should be starting. He got traded to the Angels on Wednesday night, or Wednesday afternoon. I think it was night. And now he's apparently making his debut here. So let's take a look real quick. I don't see anything. Usually if they're not going to get points for whatever, for getting traded, they'll be up here. But I'm not seeing that. So, looking at Giolito, he is still... Yeah, so he's going to make his first start as the Angels. Now, his splits, looking at this, away games, 5.25, home games, 2.44, but now his home stadium obviously is not in Chicago, it's in LA. So I don't know how that's going to really affect the home splits. Kind of looking at this, had a really good game against Minnesota. Not a good game against the Mets. Okay game against St. Louis. Not a good game, really. Not much going on with Toronto. Strikeouts were there for Minnesota. The problem is he's facing Toronto, which he doesn't face very often. Well, actually, that's a lie. 156 plate appearances, 245 batting average, 23.1. He is the one where I don't know. Away games, he just has a bad ERA. Depending on if he flew from Chicago to LA or he flew or Detroit or wherever he flew. I don't know. This one, I'm probably just avoiding him just because he got traded, new team, new, signs, new catcher. I don't know if I want anything to do with this one here. Probably avoiding this one just in case. Now, he could have a fantastic game. I just don't have proof of that. And just being traded, I haven't dug into the numbers to see if being traded mid-season has an effect on anybody. So I'm going to stay clear of that. And then you look at Kevin Gausman, 59 plate appearances against them, 207 batting average. So looking at this here, let's find little Gausman's name going on right here. Second highest priced. He's only $200 less than Garrett Cole on DraftKings, so be that as it may. Looking at his game logs, pretty good against Seattle. 6 innings, did give up 4 earned runs. All 4 of them were home runs. That was on the road. That's impressive. 9 strikeouts there. Has some strikeouts there, but hasn't faced the Angels this year. Looking at this, his home games, he is better at home. Less home runs. Well, was more until the last game. Less earned runs, less walks, more strikeouts. And it's the Angels team that are now supposedly all in on going to the playoffs. They're trading for people. They got Ahmed Rosario. They traded away Noah Syndergaard. Just weird. They're in the playoff run, but they're not. So I don't know if I want anything to do with Gausman. He's had success. He is expensive, but if I'm paying up, I'd pay $200 more, and I'd go with Garrett Cole on this one. The next game is the Nats at the Mets. You got Mackenzie Gore versus Max Scherzer. Looking at this, let's look at Gore first. Mackenzie Gore, his game logs, really good game against San Francisco. San Francisco obviously is a really good team. They've got some great hitters on there, and he was able to keep them at bay. So looking at that, he went 5 innings there, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts. Game before that against the Cubs, 6.1 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. It's crazy to see he got 5 earned runs but still got 15.5. And then, he went 1.1 against Cincinnati, 2.2 against Philly with 7 earned runs. He has been lit up this season. He's faced the Mets twice, 10 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts, 0.9 ERA here. Looking at this game log wise, ERA just a little bit worse on the road. So let's look at when he faced the Mets. If it were in, one was 6 innings, 10 Ks in this ballpark. I think he could be a sneaky option. I honestly think Gore could be a sneaky option. It really just depends on what Mets team you're actually going to get and which team shows up. So I'm on Gore, probably tournament only, but I don't mind that. Then Scherzer against his old team, his former team. Not a good game against Boston. 6 innings, 5 earned runs. Really good game against the Dodgers. 7 innings, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs. Against San Diego, gave up 5. Against Arizona, gave up. I mean, he's got a bloated 4.20 ERA, 8-4 record. Splits, he's faced Washington 1 time this year. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. Usually we're used to like 8 to 10 strikeouts out of Scherzer, so it's a little bit different. Pitching at home, way less home runs. On the road, he's given up 19. At home, he's given up 3. Less walks, considerably less amount of Ks. Honestly, I don't know if I'd pay for Max Scherzer. I still think his price is up there due to his name. So I'm just going to move to the next game. So that one, Gore, GPP, I don't mind. Scherzer, probably going to avoid that one at that price. Next game, Guardians at the White Sox. To be announced for the Guardians versus not Lucas Giolito. You were wrong, baseball savant. Let's see who the White Sox... They might not even have anyone slated yet because they traded away their start. Okay, so possibly Touki Toussaint. He pitched last Wednesday. Now he's... Yeah. So his game log, the last time he pitched, was only 1 inning on the 26th. So maybe he'll start. I don't know. We're not going to use him. He just started, pitched in relief. Now he might get the start. So you can't really go off that. He's a bullpen guy. So probably anyway, I would fade this game. Depending. We kind of got to wait. But if we are using some Guardians bats, maybe Quan, both the Naylor boys, Jose Ramirez obviously is always in play when you're looking at a Guardian stack here. But as of now, can't go off any of this information. Brewers at the Braves is the next. Adrian Hauser versus the Atlanta Braves. Yanni Chirinos. So let's look at some Adrian Hauser here. 5,500. Game log. 22.7 against Atlanta. Just faced Atlanta at home. And this one is the one that surprised everyone. Somehow this dude got 10 strikeouts. He got a fifth of his strikeouts in one game. It's crazy. I don't think that happens again. I think a lot of people are going to be on him because he did just do that. And looking at this, that was at home. At home, he's got a 4.13 ERA. On the road, it's even better. I honestly am on the thought process of the Braves are not going to lose this game at home against Adrian Hauser. So I will take a look and probably avoid Adrian Hauser. You can call me crazy. That's kind of my thought in this one. Coming off a really good game. They just saw him his last start. I don't want anything to do with Adrian Hauser. And then we look at Yanni Chirinos. So he is serving as a starter here. Game logs, 4.2 innings, 4.1. I mean, you wouldn't use him either. Hasn't faced Milwaukee this year. Home games, 587. It's worse. Yeah, this one is, I'm probably looking at offenses here. If I'm looking at Brewers bats, William Contreras, William Contreras, probably Yelich, Willie Adames in this one. And then Braves, obviously always a decent stack there. Matt Olson, Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Michael Harris, really just depends. So I'm avoiding both of these pitchers today. Next game, the Rays at the Astros. You got Shane McClanahan versus Christian Javier. So looking at this, let's go back towards the top. McClanahan, third highest here. Game logs, not a good game against Baltimore. And we actually stacked Baltimore last time against him. Had a pretty good day with that one. Texas, he had a decent game against Texas's offense. Didn't do good against Seattle. Kansas City didn't do good. All of these numbers are really weird. Came back from the IL in between here. Splits-wise, hasn't faced Houston this year. They hit lefties really well, except apparently Andrew Haney. We look at this. He's on the road in Houston, 3.15 ERA. So he's got a good ERA, 11-1 record, 289. Worse on the road. Going up against this team, giving up more home runs on the road, more earned runs, more walks, less strikeouts. I'm probably off on McClanahan, especially at his price of $10,400. I think a lot of people might be on him. I think I would stack against him, is kind of my thought in this one. So looking at that, I'm probably stacking the Astros against McClanahan and not pitching him. And then we can look at the other side, Christian Javier. Game logs, 8,600, so he's down there. He's got a 4.32 ERA, though. 7-2 record, but a higher ERA, less than 100 strikeouts. Okay game against Oakland, 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks. Oakland, he should have been. We used him. They lost that game 4-1. Crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So looking at that, I'm avoiding. Look at these numbers, though. I mean, 14.6 and 15.7. That's not good for his price. And then negative. Really good numbers here, and then he tailed off for whatever reason. Splits-wise, hasn't faced Tampa Bay this year. Home games, 3 ERA, so he is better at home. Less than double the earned runs, almost less than triple the home runs, or quadruple the home runs, less half the walks, basically half the strikeouts almost. Yeah, I don't know. This is one where it's an up and down for me. He can have a really good game, or he can get absolutely lit up by this Tampa Bay offense. So looking at this, I might be avoiding these two pitchers altogether. Just going with the offenses here. Next one, the Twins at the Royals. As you know, anytime a pitcher goes up against Kansas City in Kansas City, I absolutely love that. Sonny Gray has had success against them. 96 plate appearances, 187 batting average, 24 K percentage. Brady Singer, 83 plate appearances against the Twins, 338 batting average, 21.7. So let's dig in a little bit. Let's look at Sonny Gray, 9,300. If we're looking at Sonny Gray at 9,300 or Javier 8,600, I'm going to pay the extra 700 and go with Sonny Gray. Looking at his game logs, not a good game against the White Sox. So he's had like 3 down games. That's probably why his price is a little bit lower. Good game against Baltimore at 23.9. Looking at this, he's faced Kansas City twice this year, 11 innings pitched, 1 earned run, only 8 strikeouts. So he's not striking out a ton there, but I will have some exposure to him. Looking at the last time he faced Kansas City or at Kansas City, 5 innings, 4 Ks? No. 5 innings, 1 strikeout. So that's weird to me. Seeing a pitcher against Kansas City and is only getting 1 strikeout, I don't know. I still think I'll have exposure to Sonny Gray as a tournament option for me. Don't know if I'll trust him in cash, but as tournament option, I will look at that. And then Brady Singer, on the other hand, got to come down here to 6,400, going up against Minnesota. Somehow had a really good game against the Yankees. Every pitcher did. 5.55 ERA, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. Looking at this, he's faced Minnesota once this year, 2.2 innings, 8 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. I'm out. I'm stacking Minnesota. I don't know who I would stack there. Kind of got to look, but he's got a 27 ERA there, so probably avoiding Brady Singer. Looking at Sonny Gray as a tournament option only in this matchup. Then, again, for most of the parts, the bats that we're looking at, we got to wait for all the Vegas numbers to come out. We got to look at the BVP numbers. We got to look at the weather to see if the ball is flying out of there. All of this is combined to find out those great batters. So while we don't touch on the batters all the time here, we do have a lot of free resources over on the website you can go check out to find some of these batters if you do have questions. So the next game on the slate, you got the Cubs at the Cardinals. To be announced versus Jordan Montgomery. 144 plate appearances against the Cubs, 18.1 K percentage, 275 batting average here. Trying to see if they've got anyone. Drew Smyly, maybe. So he is not certain to start Friday, but we'll look at this. He pitched the 22nd, so yeah, that would be when he should start. Only went 3.2 innings against the same exact team. 4 earned runs, 5 total runs, 5 strikeouts, 6.1 fantasy points. I don't like that. Looking at this, Smyly on the road, 350. He is better on the road, but he's a soft-throwing lefty. The Cardinals, I think, could jump out at him. Looking at that, I probably would, if it is Smyly, I would stay away from Smyly, and I would stack some of the Cardinals bats. Arenado, Brendan Donovan, Paul Goldschmidt, depending on who's in that lineup, Paul DeYoung, Newt Barr. It really just depends. Now, again, we've mentioned this before, but we are in the thick of it. The trade deadline is next week. We're already seeing players get traded. So when you build your lineups, you can't really set it and forget it because a lot happens. So those are the players that I would. Dylan Carlson's in there. But Dylan Carlson's name has been thrown out there to get traded. I've even read Arenado's name could be traded. So I'm probably stacking the Cardinals against Drew Smyly if that's who it is. And then we can look at Montgomery here. Monty against the Cubs. Game log. Didn't have a good start there. His last start, 6.1 fantasy points. Went 6 innings but gave up 7 runs, 5 of them earned, and only 4 strikeouts. He's faced the Cubs twice this year, 11 total innings, 11 total runs, 3 home runs, 9 ERA. I honestly, looking at this, might be avoiding the pitching in this game and look at the bats in this game. I would not be surprised if the over-under in this game is something along the lines of like 9.5. So that's kind of what I'd look at. I think I'd be stacking some bats in this one instead of the pitching. All right, let's move to the next game. Athletics at the Rockies. As of right now, we don't know who it is, but we will definitely look real quick. Versus Kyle Freeland. Freeland's only faced 3 plate appearances of the A's, and this is in Coors. I'm not taking a pitcher in Coors. But let's take a look to see if Oakland has anyone slated. Maybe J.P. Sears? Sears is probably slated here. Last pitched on Friday. Didn't do good against Houston. It's Houston, though. Gave up 5 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 0.7 fantasy points there. 1-7 record, 4.11 ERA. Now he's going into Coors. Hasn't faced Colorado this year. Looking at this, away games, 386. He is better away, but yeah, I'm not taking a pitcher against the Rockies or any pitcher in Coors unless they're an absolute dominant stud. We did take Garrett Cole there, and he did really well. But yeah, I'm not taking J.P. Sears in Coors. And Freeland here, I'm not taking Freeland. Let's check it out real quick. Am I missing it? He's coming off the IL. Hasn't pitched since July 9th. What did he... So it was his shoulder as well. He only went through a simulated game. Didn't even have any... He dislocated his right shoulder while fielding a bunt on July 9th. What? It's his non-throwing... How do you do that? Anyway, looking at his home games, 4.13 ERA. It's very high. Coming off the IL. Don't know if he's going to be on any sort of restriction. Didn't have any minor league rehab. Nothing. He just came back after a simulated game. I'm not taking him. I don't trust him. It's Oakland. I don't think I would be taking Oakland. If I'm taking any bats, I might be taking... Colorado, but honestly, if you're a person that makes multiple lineups, I wouldn't fault you in making a lineup for the Oakland Athletics, depending on who they're going to have in this lineup here. I would look at right-handed batters against Freeland here, but we'll have to kind of wait to see what lineup comes out of Oakland because I don't know if I've ever taken an Oakland stack at all. But honestly, I think you're going to go under-owned, and you could be a little bit successful here against Colorado in Colorado. But I won't have exposure to either of these pitchers. Then you got the Mariners at the Diamondbacks. You got Logan Gilbert versus Tommy Henry. Tommy Henry's never faced him before. Logan Gilbert has barely faced anyone on this team. But we know that Arizona is really good. But let's take a look. Let's dig in a little bit. And look at Logan Gilbert, 9,000 on DraftKings. Game logs, not so good game against Toronto. 8 hits allowed, 5 innings, 5 earned runs. We actually did take him. So this is what I think separates us from like other DFS providers or whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of times where they'll tell you a player, they'll suggest 6 players, and if they do bad, they'll delete their tweet, they'll delete their video, whatever it is. I'm going to let you know right now. We took him in one of our lineups. He did not do well. 5.9, not going to cut it, especially at 9,300. They have dropped his price a little bit. Looking at his splits, on the road, 3.26. He is better on the road, but Arizona Chase Field is called Coors Field Jr. for a reason. The ball absolutely flies out of here. Probably going against Gilbert here. Arizona's a really good hitting team. They're one of the stacks that I like in this one. We'll have the stack on the website. but most likely it's Perdomo, it's Ketel Marte, it's Corbin Carroll, just depending on who else is out there. Christian Walker, I don't mind. I think he homered on Wednesday, I believe. So looking at that, I don't think I'll have exposure to Logan Gilbert. And Tommy Henry, 6,700 against Seattle. He's not been doing too good. 4.1 innings, not going deep into games, not going long enough to get a W anyway. Splits, his home games, 3 ERA. He is worse on the road. If you want to go very contrarian because of how very inconsistent Seattle offense has been, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, they've got right-handed batters that could dominate Henry. Teoscar Hernandez, Julio, Suarez, even JP Crawford, lefty and lefty matchup could be a good matchup for him. So I don't know if I'll use Henry here. I'd rather probably use the offenses more than I would the pitching. Rangers at the Padres is next. Dane Dunning versus Joe Musgrove. 15 plate appearances out of Dunning, so not much. Musgrove, 37 plate appearances. So let's dig in a little bit. Dane Dunning has really come back down to earth. He was very expensive at the beginning of the season. Looking at this, bad outing against the Dodgers, not so good against Tampa Bay, not good against Washington, okay against Boston. Almost a complete game out of him in Detroit with 10 strikeouts. So looking at splits, hasn't faced San Diego this year. Like I said, 15 plate appearances, not much. Home games, 352. He is better on the road. It is San Diego. They have struggled. It is a pitcher's park. I might throw Dane Dunning in some lineups as my SP2 on DraftKings because he is 6,000. But again, San Diego, when they are on, they can hit the ball really well. The problem is they have not been on for a while. So this is one where it's very up and down. I think Dunning is strictly a tournament option today. But at 6,000, you could pair him up with Garrett Cole. Like just looking at Garrett Cole, and then we go down to Dane Dunning at 6,000, that averages out 4,100 per other position, which is really good. So that's something to think about. Joe Musgrove, on the other hand, he's 9,700 game logs, 14.7 against Detroit. Okay, obviously would have been better without the earned runs, but had a pretty good game there. Against Toronto, 25. Against the Mets, 27. Against the Angels, 30. I mean, he had a pretty good stretch here for about 2 weeks. Really good starts. Looking at his splits, again, this is a pitcher's park. So home games, 340. Away games, 307. So he's at home. Giving up just 2 more home runs, so not very many. Has given up more earned runs. Is going up against Texas. Texas obviously is a really good team. They just dominated Houston on Wednesday for like 13 runs. Looking at this, I don't think I'll have Joe Musgrove in any lineups. I think I'd rather take Dane Dunning because he's so cheap and he has an option to have a good game against San Diego because they've been so bad. And then maybe even stack the Rangers, just depending who's out there. Simeon, Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Nate Lowe. I'd be kind of looking at those guys there. So I'm avoiding Musgrove. I'm looking at Dunning, and I'm looking at the Rangers bats. Then we've got the Reds at the Dodgers. You've got Brandon Williamson versus Bobby Miller. Looking at Williamson down here. He's on the road going up against a really good team in the Dodgers. Pretty good game against Arizona, 23.1 at home. Not good against San Francisco at home. I mean, he's 5,800, so he's not bad. But going up against the Dodgers, he's faced 5.2 innings this year, 6 earned runs, 9.53 ERA. I think I'm stacking the Dodgers here. I think I'm looking at Mookie, JD Martinez, Freddie Freeman, Kike Hernandez if he's in there. He's going to be a cheaper option now. He's back with the Dodgers. Muncy, yeah, I think I don't want anything to do with Williamson against the Dodgers. And then Bobby Miller here. Where's Bobby Miller? Up here at 7,700. Game logs, not bad. 7,700, he's getting up there in price. He's dropped down, though. Would love to see, obviously, 20-point games, but home games, 5.93 ERA. He is worse at home. I think I'm probably going to stack this game. This game's probably going to have like a 9 or 9.5 over-under. I think I'm stacking this game as well. Not taking the pitching, probably taking the offenses in this one. So I don't want anything to do with Miller. The Reds, just depends on who's out there. Maybe Joey Votto. Ellie De La Cruz in L.A., I think, will play. Fraley, Friedel, Jonathan India, but his name has been floated out there as possibility of being traded, so kind of he might not be playing this weekend because if they're going to trade him, obviously don't want him to go out there and get hurt. So kind of what I'd be looking at there. And then the final game is Cutter Crawford versus Logan Webb. You got Boston Red Sox versus San Francisco Giants. Looking at Crawford here, where is he? Am I there? Cutter Crawford against, it is a pitcher's park, so remember that. Game log, not so good against the Mets. Against the Cubs, 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs. Fantastic out of him. Not a good game. Okay game, not a good game. He has a trend. So if he fought, well, besides here where he was bullpen. But the problem is 4 innings, 6 innings, 4 innings, 5. So up and down, up and down. As is a pitcher's park. If he's following this trend, he should have a good game. Splits-wise, hasn't obviously faced San Francisco ever. Away games, 2.48 ERA, so he is better away. He's worse at home. Crawford, if he could go at least 5 or 6, I don't mind him at 6,500 for tournaments. Not trusting him in cash at all, though. And then looking at Logan Webb, we just used him as last start, and he got shelled. No, actually, you know what? We didn't use him. I remember we dug into the numbers, and you guys can go back to was whatever day that was, last Saturday. Yeah, I think it was Saturday. We looked, and that game was at Washington, and on the road he had a huge ERA difference, and his numbers were bad. And we went against him, and it worked out that game. 6 earned runs and 1.1 innings. That was last Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. I do recall that now. And we did really well with that. We had a really good last Saturday, and hopefully we can get that here again. Because Logan Webb came in 8-7 record, 3.48 ERA, so it was even lower than that. 6 earned runs, so it was like 2-something. All right, let's check it out. Or you can't tell. No, but now he's back at home where he's got a tremendous ERA, 2.02. Less earned runs, less than half earned runs, home runs, walks, strikeouts. I don't mind Logan Webb for tournaments. I think, though, at 10,200, at that price, I'd rather have Wheeler at 9,800 or Gray at 9,300 or Cole at 11,000. So I will have some exposure to Logan Webb. That's probably it. I'm not going to be over the field on that one. And we do have some weather concerns, as you can see, as of right now, but it will change. Philly at Pittsburgh, rain concerns here. Cleveland at White Sox, rain concerns there. And then that looks like it's it for the concerns. I might have a little bit of Cutter Crawford. I might have a little bit of exposure to both of these pitchers in tournaments, but Logan Webb is very expensive. So that's my thought here. And that's it. That's all I've got in this video, guys. If you found it helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Good luck on this slate. Let's get to 150 likes. Let's bring home some bacon this weekend, guys. Peace!